Where do I start and where do I begin when it comes to this conversation? Technically, I know some of y'all just like, what's up with the title for this whole entire stream? Usually, your streams would basically just be a whole different title or would just be the same thing. Well, to this one, um, I don't even know how to describe this. So let's have a conversation real quick. Y'all ever get this entire strange feeling to where y'all start to feel burned out, to where you don't want to continue, keeping up with the progress that you have? That's exactly how I'm feeling right now. Throughout my whole entire life, I've been so burnt out with all these strange ideas I come up with, and it just either works or just gets buried 6 feet under. But most of the times, I would try to bring it back and reworking it into the way I want it to work instead of just letting other people think of it for me. That's exactly how it does. I don't even know how I was describing it that way, but technically, there's been a lot of situations that's been pulled around to me to where I'm not understanding any of it, and I can already tell what some people are basically gonna be saying, and I don't want to hear it. There's gonna be some negative people talking smack about you to where they don't want you to say anything. They just want you to, you know, continuing all this negative drama bullcrap that everybody's been spouting on about. And those that have known me for a long time, I simply don't care for negative drama as long as it's not my name being dragged into it. Because let's just try to say this in my own perspective. The way I've been getting negative feedback from many other people is just too much for me to be able to handle. But getting positive feedback at the same time, it works for me. Excuse me. It works for me. But some other people that are out there that somehow has a negative impact to not just themselves, but a negative impact to the other people around them. That's what throws me off. And trust me, I've experienced multiple people with that kind of negative attitude that really has some sort of secret hatred to where they don't want to say anything. But trust me, but some people are just like, "What's up? Why would you bring this up in this whole entire conversation?" Well, it's the truth. Keep in mind, most people don't want to hear the things I want to say. They don't want me to express myself in these kind of terms, especially when I'm trying to bring in good vibe checks when it comes to 2026. Obviously, that's just what it is. I simply don't care what people would say to me, whether if it's good, bad, or negative. I simply don't want to hear it. I've dealt with way too many situations to where I try to, excuse me, where I try to, you know, try to piece myself together on these terms. Even when I piece myself in these kind of terms, there's some other people out there that support me that say, he's doing his job. He's basically trying his best to keep himself together. That's what I do. It's what I do best. Now, I do say these kind of things, and it's the truth. That's how I express myself in these kind of terms. But to other people out there that just says that literally just say all these negative things, I simply don't care for it. It's not going to affect me. Sure, it may affect everyone else, but it's not going to affect me because there's always been a saying out there. I can't even speak. There's always been a saying that talks about sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Technically, there are certain words out there that can hurt a person no matter what they really are. Right, if they're a man or a woman, it basically can still hurt them no matter what it is. Excuse me. As many words that have broken me throughout my whole entire life, I'm basically not the type of person to just sit there and just take it. I'm the type of person to be able to fight against these kind of problems. Think about it. As many relationships I basically got myself into to be able to identify myself to be weak or vulnerable, but most other times I basically hold myself together like a puzzle piece. But even though that a man can be able to back up his claims and being able to do what he has to do, but when a man can't be able to but when a man can't be able to express himself on these kind of words, it's hard for us to be able to let these things get loose. It's the kind of terms that basically just leads to people wondering why we continue to keep ourselves forward onto this. As many, arguments I've been through my whole entire life, whether if it's like regular arguments or debates or any other kind of thing, I deal with these kind of things 24/7 constantly. Most of the times I deal with it with my siblings, but not really, unless it's just something serious or whatever. Considering that me and my siblings had our debates and arguments and all that kind of stuff throughout our childhood life, but that's just exactly how we grew up with it. We grew up with these kind of experiences is because we know what we're dealing against. We know what we really are capable of. Excuse me. It's just that there are some people out there that don't want you to be able to express yourself. Like, you do realize that there are other people out there that are secretly saying these kind of things to you that they don't want to express it in front of your face. Excuse me. Based on the whole entire situation of what you and that person been going through, that's literally just the own situation to it and not yourself. Like, keep in mind there have been plenty of people out there that really wants to be able to punch me in my guts for some reason. I've known plenty of people that wants to do that to me, and I technically do not want to accept that. Because, like I have said this to many other people, if you really want to put your hands on me or something, you're basically not gonna get, you're not gonna go away with all that. Because the truth, as throughout my whole entire life, I'm pretty sure there would be no man out there or woman that would want to put their hands on me unless they want to. I don't want to fight a woman. Keep in mind, I done that once. I learned my lesson. But that story right there will be another story for another day. So, what I'm trying to explain to people is that you can't just allow other people to control your life. You can't allow that. The only thing that you can do is just be able to keep yourself standing, keep yourself alive. Don't let negativity take control of you. Continue to push yourself further than anything else. Trust me. That's That's the part of reality. Some people thinking it's a joke, but it's not. That's the whole truth. That's the whole truth of reality. Reality can be a tough thing to go through with. It can be able to pin you down like a police officer or whatever. Most other people can just say that, oh, you know, we could be able to solve these kind of situations by fighting and all that. Fighting is not gonna work things out. It's just gonna cause more situations, and it's just gonna cause another problem. Because that's my way of trying to state the obvious to people that trying to cause another fight or causing another situation like that to happen is not going to work. You have to learn to work things out like a normal person. You can't just try to express. You can't just try to think that whole entire thing is just gonna work. It's not. The only thing that's going to do at that moment is just going to cause another situation. Like you think that's really just going to solve something, but no, it's just not. It's really just going to cause another bad thing to happen. Let's be clear. Let's be clear on this whole entire thing. The way I can say that, I basically have set this question to my siblings, and I'm gonna say this question to the other people that have cared for me throughout my whole entire life. If I fast forwarding into the future for this one, if I didn't exist, if I didn't exist into your life, where would you be without me? I want you to think real hard about this question because it is a reality check. And like I said, I've asked this question to my siblings. I've asked this question to plenty other people I cared for, including many other people I've had relationships with. If I didn't exist, where would you be without me? Sure, it does sting. It is the hard, cold truth. But as they always say, the truth always hurts. It hurts than a lie. Both of these things do hurt people. Lying hurts people, and the truth hurts people. But that's just how it all works. Because deep down, I may consider myself a liar sometimes, but at least I try my best to be able to admit myself of being a liar. I admit myself of being a liar. I lie all the time. And the way I basically fix that whole entire lie is by telling the truth. You have to learn to tell the truth sometimes. Telling the truth does seem to be difficult. It does become a bit of a problem, but deep down you know it's going to be the only thing to be able to fix is literally going to be the only thing to fix stuff around. Because they always say never, but you have to understand. You have to understand reality is just what it is. You can't just expect reality to hold your hand like a baby. No. The way I face reality is I face it like a normal person. Keep in mind, I have autism, I have ADHD. The way I fight these kind of things, I just handle it head on. I can't just go back and just go the other direction. No, there's no other choice but to go forward. Sure, it can be tough, but that's just how it is. Reality can be a tough thing. It's tough on everyone, including yourself. Reality has basically been tough on me for a very long time. Even though many people don't like to talk about death because it's too consuming, it's basically too much for people. I mean, as I always said, death can be very gruesome because it teaches you a lesson, and that's just what it is. Because I know plenty of people have asked me these kind of questions 24/7, including my coworkers, especially if it's, trying to care. I mean, at these other times, when it comes to these trying times that we're all dealing with, who doesn't want to think about death? I mean, my lovers do, my friends do, my siblings do, my family does. Everyone always asks me these kind of questions, and it's tough for men to be able to break through these kind of things. I admit I do struggle a lot, but the only thing I always do to get myself out of the struggle is by keep trying and never giving up. Because sure, we can be able to try ourselves to lift ourselves together, but when a man can't be able to lift his heart throughout all these trying times, it's a tough factor. It's how reality is. But the way I'm seeing these kind of things and the way I'm trying to explain it to people, the way I'm explaining this to people is that I want you to, is that sometime in your life, sometime in your life, the way I'm giving this advice to people, I want you to sit down somewhere. Even if you're sitting in your car and before you start your car up or anything you're doing, I want you to sit there. Take a good moment. Take a good moment to be able to understand what you're going to be doing, where you're going to be traveling to. You're praying for not just yourself, but you're praying for others that are also traveling as well. That's exactly what I do. Whenever I'm catching a bus to work, I always pray. When I'm catching a bus back home, I pray. I do these things over and over again to be able to make myself better. It's called cleaning yourself up for what you have messed up in your life. And no matter what you do, you'll always make sure you start all over again. Starting your life all over again is basically one thing that most people want to do. But it's not like a video game where you have infinite lives and you can just keep going back and forth. You have one life in this world. Reality basically tells people that you have one life in this world. You have to learn to use your life as best as you can. Because as my father has always told me, nobody's promised tomorrow. You never know what could happen. You never know if you're going to end up in a car crash, an accident, or a fatal burn or whatever. You have to learn to live yourself a normal life. Living yourself normally is what most people have to do. And when people can't be able to work themselves that way, they still do it. They still do it. The only thing I'm saying is the way I'm saying this to people, the way I'm saying this to the audience and everyone else that are out there. if there's one certain thing that I've basically if there's one certain thing that I've also remembered my entire life, is that you have to understand one simple thing that most other people don't tell you, is that everyone is going to die sometime. Everyone dies all the time. That's life. That's reality. That's how we all breathe and live. We're normal human beings. We live ourselves the way we are. It's the same with animals. We we're basically given birth. We live in a normal life, and the next thing you know, we all die. The life cycle goes on over and over. I don't say these things to be able to cause people to cry. I say these things as a truth to let people know that this is a reality check, a good vibe check. I really want people to understand all that. I want people to be able to understand what reality is going to prepare you for. My words can't be able to express people for what they really need to be or what they really want to do. Then my other way of being able to express some other things. Then the only things I could basically do is by giving them a reality check. Reality check can hit you, good vibe checks can hit you, everything can hit you like a boxer. And what you do when someone tries to hit you, you either fight back or you pull up your defense. That's how I've always been told. So at this kind of moment, I'm basically just going to give people a moment of silence to understand what this really means.